Mesdames et messieurs, bonjour et bienvenue au 13h sur Canal 2 International. Mardi, good afternoon.
Bon après-midi, Junior. Saying good afternoon to all watching us right now. It is a bilingual edition of the news on Canal 2 International. I'm called Mardi and major stories. Of the Bafia District Hospital, Roger Penda-Kwale has been suspended for 3 months for the non-respect of ethics and professional conduct. The outgoing director ceded his seat to the interim director during the handover check by the senior divisional officer for BAM Ainobu Division.
800 litres de carburant frelaté repartis dans 32 bidons de 25 litres chacun viennent d'être saisis en Gaoundéré par les éléments de la douane camerounaise. L'opération de saisie a permis de mettre la main sur plusieurs fraudeurs. On en parle dans ce 13h.
And at least 5 hospitals have been burned in Anglophone Cameroon since the escalation of the crisis. Health workers remain one of the most hardest hit of the conflict, and most have lost their lives and jobs. Those are major stories, the details right ahead. Good afternoon to all watching us right now. The director of the Bafia District Hospital, Roger Penda-Kwale, has been suspended for a period of 3 months for the non-respect of ethics and professional misconduct. The outgoing director ceded his seat to the new interim director during the handover ceremony chaired by the senior divisional officer for BAM Ainobu Division. The details with our intern Joy Ngong.
It is a calm atmosphere at the Bafia District Hospital. Activities are going about smoothly, the staff threading carefully as suspension is now the order of the day. 2 suspensions in 10 days is not a matter to joke with. The director of the hospital, Dr. Penda-Kwale Roger, is suspended from duty for a period of 3 months with no salary. He was accused of the non-respect of professional ethics and deontology. He will be replaced by Bui Idrisu, himself a medical doctor who doubles as the chief of the Bafia Health District. Administrative authorities were present on site to ensure a peaceful handover. After reading the notes from the Minister of Public Health and the presentation of the new interim director, the senior divisional officer delivered a message of conduct to the entire team of the hospital. It is not the first time I am coming to talk to you about the problems of this hospital, but this is for those who still need to understand that when hierarchy comes here to tell you things, it is for the good of the hospital and you should take it seriously. The personnel were advised to get actively involved in the various activities and develop honest collaborations within the hospital premises. Now the new management has been put in place, a detailed report is being awaited at the sub-divisional office within the shortest time possible, without which the Bafia District Hospital is not far from further sanctions.
At least 5 hospitals have been burned down in Anglophone Cameroon since the escalation of the crisis in that part of the country. Health workers remain one of the most hardest hit by the crisis in Anglophone Cameroon. Most of them have lost their jobs and lives. A workshop to push through to social dialogue and restore health sector in conflict zones has taken place here in the city of Douala. The details, Regina Leketandak.
Protected by the Geneva Convention as a place of refuge even in time of war, hospitals in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon have unfortunately on several occasions been attacked, burnt, and health workers assaulted by warring parties. Most healthcare workers are in desolation.
Most of the workers of the medical sector have lost their jobs as a result of the conflict. Most of them have lost materials and most of them have been displaced internally. So we feel that at this particular point we are frustrated.
The armed conflict in the northwest and southwest regions of Cameroon coupled with the Boko Haram insurgency in the far north region of the country, has had a toll on the medical corps. Aware of these difficulties, the syndicate in charge of pharmacy, the medical sector and its affiliates is holding a training of trainers workshop in Douala running from February 22nd to 24th that will train trainers to go down to crisis zones to push for social dialogue.
So we are gathered here today to train specialists, mostly our colleagues, to go to this zone and preach for peace. Preach for peace in order to work together with the government to re-establish work.
It is the kind of process by which at the end of it we're going to gather skills on how to negotiate with the government, pleads with the government so that they could come to a social or a dialogue table.
For the next 2 days, the team will examine 2 major models, notably exploring the rights of health workers in crisis-hit regions and what, in essence, the workers can clamor for from the state and their employers.
After security operatives uncovered a distillery of fake whiskey and wine, the fight against counterfeit spirits have stepped up. Many people are known to consume these fake whiskey and wine without knowing their quality. Kejan Henry Ateme has been talking with some distributors here in Cameroon's economic city Douala. His story.
This video of a local distillery that produces counterfeit spirits and wine went viral across the globe 2 weeks ago. Irate licensed distributors who pay billions of taxes into state coffers say this does not only rob the state and causes enormous damage to the economy, but to human health.
BVS is taking the lead to make sure that all the bottles of spirits that we import has some specific tips to help final consumer to make sure that is consuming or having the right product.
Many fake spirits have inundated Cameroonian markets with the assistance from nightclubs, snacks and other operators in the distribution chain. But how can a consumer of whiskey or wine differentiate between fake product and an original brand? Expert in wine testing says the flame test is necessary.
We obtain from the manufacturer of the spirits the possibility to have our logo pre-printed, which is more difficult to be falsified by the fraudulent people.
Many certified distributors of spirits have seen their brands on the market, but the president of the Association of Nightclubs and Snack Tenders say they are only vendors and should not be held accountable. And as certified distributors of spirits battled for counterfeit and contraband spirits to be stamped out of the economy, they are also asking the government to make sure they take the responsibility.
Another clash between traders of Wisian market in Cameroon's political capital Yaoundé with city council agents has exposed a lot of malpractices in that market. The problem centers around the issuing of tickets with which the city mayor and the mayor of Yaoundé two had earlier suspended. But city council agents have totally ignored the suspension. The details in the following story with Beatrice Ngamo.
Round by business persons, this time at the Witiam market under the Yaoundé 2 municipality. Their cries that of tribalism, extortion and corruption by agents of the Yaoundé City Council. The high point, the arrival of some of the City Council agents in the market, clogging a tomato cargo lorry and making away with the gearbox of another. The act, Friday, is against the joint decision by the Yaoundé City Mayor and that of the Yaoundé 2 Council, halting the payment of tickets of any kinds for those using the public highway. The business persons therefore staged this strike, begging for stringent actions. The clocked vehicle owner fear for the state of his car, while the other business persons decry their torments. They are saying they have suffered a lot and are seeking the intervention of the head of state to save them. They have been threatened. Tribalism has been installed. So too, corruption, they cry. Informed of this threat to the peace of the area and the fear it might degenerate to something else, the second deputy mayor, Muhammadu Sani Waziri, went to the Whittier market to calm the situation Saturday, reassuring the traders that he knows the city mayor is not aware of the moves by his agent and told them to pay no dime until a new notice from the big and small mayors clarify the situation. While noting that this problem of public highway has been the base of contention between traders and council officials. And the situation got sour at the Mokolo market, where the traders complained the local council and city council agents taxed them on same place and space. And so the joint decision, suspending the payment of tickets of any kind on public pathways.
After sojourning in Douala for 5 days with businessmen, the tax director, Modest Mopa, certainly went back with a lot of grievances under his sleeves. Kejan Henry Atebe comes back to the conclave and sees the absence of the cartel of businessmen Jikam raised eyebrows. His story.
After spending 5 days consulting with businessmen and women, Tax Director Modest Mopafotwing went back to Yaoundé with the hope that his message to taxpayers has gone through. Above and beyond the explanations of the innovations of the 2021 finance law, some business people think the meeting was necessary. All was not a bed of roses for the tax director, who had to address worries of promoters of small and medium-sized enterprises aggrieved by the repercussions of the coronavirus pandemic. Majority of the small and medium-sized enterprises have shut down, while those who still show signs of existence are yet to come out from the seismic trauma of their pandemic on their businesses. They quarreled with the tax boss over what they called exorbitant bank charges of 2,385 francs when paying their taxes. Their worries were channeled through the Association for the Defense of Taxpayers, who clamored for fiscal justice. Despite the axe grinding by small and medium-sized enterprises, they went home with a renewed hope of sanctions-free promises from the tax boss in case of delays due to the imperfection of the payment system. If there is one big surprise noticed by the media during the conclave between the tax boss and business people, was the absence of the Association of Employers JICAM. That a conclave of such a magnitude to discuss the economic issues of the nation should hold without the representative of JICAM is worrisome. Such broken pieces should be